Hi guys, this is going to be my first video in a series of videos I'm thinking about starting where called Unity Tips and Tricks. I do a lot of work in Unity, just when I'm bored and stuff. I play around with some projects. Sometimes I run into small little issues that when I solve them I'm kind of happy about myself, one of those feelings. And it's issues some others might run into. And not only do I want to help the other people that run into these issues, but if you guys could think of a better way of doing it, please tell. Um, for this video, I started up a project today, and in this project we are going to need a bow and arrow. As you can see, there's a bow and arrow script here. Um, and I'll just show you what the issue was. So I'm going to play the game here, and I just got a first person controller in. And if you look the top left here, this is kind of my power meter. Just quickly threw one together in the ongoing function. And as I hold down the mouse, power goes up, and then an arrow gets fired at the main camera, or at the position of the main camera, and then just force is put behind it. So let me show you the issue. As you probably saw right there, that arrow that got shot, you see it gets shot and it drops properly using the gravity, but it doesn't rotate based on its gravity like a real arrow does. As an arrow falls down, it will arc. It will the actual arrow itself will rotate. So it's kind of like when right now it's acting almost like a football, American football, for anyone from Europe watching this. Getting lobbed through the air. It's acting like that, and not like an arrow should. So what we need to do is, as it's going through the air, we need to rotate it. So this is how I solved it. Now, my recommendation is you should try solving this on your own first, and then you could compare with my answer, and you'll learn a lot more that way. But just for now, I'll show you my answer now. Where, as you look, this is my arrow script. As you can see, there's a lot going on here. You could probably look through my script and kind of figure it all out, but what we're looking at is while this is flying, so while the arrow is still in the air and floating and whatever, we actually want to, I call this function rotate, and what we're going to do in this function is rotate the arrow based on its current position, like it's based on its flight. Yeah, fix the problem as so the arrow will arc when we shoot it. So yeah, I was playing around with this for a while. It kind of made me mad when I came up with the answer, because it took me about half an hour to think of it, and it just turned out to be one line of code. So I'll show it to you right here. Transform. Look at transform position plus rigid body dot velocity. And that's something I probably should have mentioned, is since the arrow is using Unity physics, it does have a rigid body attached. So how this works, basically transform that position plus rigid body dot velocity. Now for anyone that doesn't know, rigid body dot velocity will return the rigid body's velocity. It will return how fast it's moving in a vector 3. So it will return how fast it's moving on the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis, and it returns negative values if it's moving negatively, obviously. So what this does is this is going to give us the next position of our arrow after physics is applied again. So the next time physics is applied and our arrow moves again, we are going to be in this position, this vector 3 that this gives us. So what I thought of is, I now know where the arrow is going to be in the next position, so I'm going to make my arrow look at that position. So simply transform that look at as a function. If you want to look into it, you can look at Unity documentation. It basically just makes a object face a world position, a vector 3 world position, on its z-axis. So basically, if you have a head and the front of the head is your z-axis, your head will actually look at a vector 3 position. If that makes any sense at all, you could. I would recommend, if you don't already know what look at does, look up documentation on look at, and that's really all that was needed. It basically finds the next position in the arrow and makes the arrow look at that. And I'll show you how flawlessly it works. Shoot it up, and there we go. We got a nice arc going. And I got a target right here. I'm gonna try to hit it. Kind of difficult. Yeah, there we go. Just died. So yeah, I'll shoot a nice one up in the air. A couple of nice ones just to watch the arc of it. And you see the arc comes down. Yep. So that's my solution. If you have a better one, please do share. I would love to hear it. Any questions or comments, just feel free to ask. Alright. Bye.